Hello friends, thank you very much for tuning in. This is another video here. So this time around, there is a common concept that we use quite a lot in data analytics, and that is the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP is quite very important because it helps you look up elements or get results, from a large data set. So how does it work? So we're looking at the data set here. It has names, it has marks in the different subjects, it has the individual addresses, and then the class in which they belong. So and we have a task here. So so the list has about like 50 students. I would call them students or people, and these are their individual details. However, we have this task where we have a few individuals whose details you want to find, and now that is what the VLOOKUP does really. Bottom line, it helps you look up certain details about an element that so for this we have Michael Davis. Davis is within this data set, but what I don't want to do, what I can actually do is I need to know his name, his class. I need to know his class, his math results, ICT results, and the address. So what I can actually do, I can get the Michael, look for Michael in here, but of course you see it will take me a lot of time to look for Michael Davis. Let me see if I can get Michael Davis, but you see it is already taking me a lot of time. So I can get his class here, class E, and I put it here, class E. Mathematics results, I can get his math results, Michael Davis, 73, and I put it here. I can get ICT results. This person got 82, and I put it here. And I can get the address. The address of this person is, as you can see, it's the Alex side. But now that can only work, or can be done if you don't have a lot of tasks to do. But now you see here, we have these, and you can't do one at a time. This data set is quite huge. So that is when a VLOOKUP comes in. So how does it work? It helps you use what you know, simple terms, use what you know to get what you don't know. So very easy. Like I told you, every function starts with an equal sign. VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. When you click, it clearly shows you how it works. So how do we use it? Search key. The search key is what you know, and it's going to be Michael. You put a comma, range. So where exactly do you think Michael is, or this search key is? So for this, I'll select my entire range. So my range is going to include the search key and what I want to get. So basically what you have to do, you need to know, to make sure that your range includes what you're searching, like a search key, and then what you want to get. So for this case, I want to get the class. The result, the request is to get the class of this person. So after my range there, I'll be asked the index. So index is what do you want to get after getting this person. In case you get this person or this search key, what do you want to return? So what I want to return is the class. The class is in column H. So I'll put the index number for column H. So the index number for column H will be within the range. So my range was from A. So A will be 1, B will be 2, C will be 3, D will be 4, E will be 5, F will be 6, G will be 7, and H will be 8. So I'm going to put 8 here. Then I'll put comma. So here, this is asking, do you want the exact, or you want something closer? We shall get to understand that better. So I'll put false here. And if you want to know more about this, if I do this, you can see the search key here. You can see whether you want. So I would recommend put a false here. Why a false? Because you want the exact. You don't want to search for the search key, and if it is not found, for the function to return something closer, you want the exact for more data accuracy. So I'll put uh, enter here. I'll press enter, and I'll drag this here. So what it has actually done, it has looked up Michael within this entire range, and it has returned the class. Why the class? Because it is what has been asked for here. But how do you get the class? Is the index is 8. So how do you get the 8? We're going to look at it. Because the class within the range, it is in the 8th column within the range. So the range was from name up to, you know, the last column. Let us quickly jump into the next, and you're going to tag along. So I need to get the math results for each of these individuals. So still I'll do equal sign VLOOKUP. So what is my search key? Search key is Michael. That is what I know that I want to use to search to return the math results. So I'll put comma. In which range is this person? And the result you want to get, which is the math results. So the range would be, you highlight literally everything. You understand? So everything, the range should include what you know, what the search key, and then what you want to return. So I want to return the math results. So here I'm going to put the index is going to be 2. Why 2? Because the math results which are in column B. You understand? So why 2? Because A will be 1, this will be 2, 3, 4, 5 as you continue. So since what I want to return, which is the math results, they're in column 2 within my range, so I'm going to put a 2 here, and then I'll put a false. Like I said, a false. Why? Because I want to get the exact. So I want the search key to be searched as an exact, you know, element. So that if it is not found as the exact Michael Davis I'm searching for, it will turn an error, you know, for that data accuracy. So I'll put equal sign, and then I'll drag to the rest. We can actually test this. We're going to check to confirm our results. So we can, yeah, so for ICT, I need to look for this person, and then I get their ICT results. So how do I do that? I'll still use the VLOOKUP equal sign VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, I'm looking up this person as my search key. Where is this person, and in which range? Which range includes the search, you know, search key, and then what we want to return, which is for this case the ICT result. So VLOOKUP Michael Davis, come to where and select a range. I'm selecting this entire range. You understand? Actually, I can just stop here. Why can I stop here? Because it has this range already is good enough. Why? Because it has the search key, which is the Davis, the name, and then it has what I want to return, which for this case is the ICT, you know. But just not to confuse, let me highlight everything so that we keep it uniform. So what do I want to return? I want to return the column that has the ICT results, which is column F, but I don't want to put the F. I want to put the index of that column within my range. So remember, we start with 1, which has the search key, column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put a 6 here. Why? Because my ICT results are in column F, but column F is index 6 according to my range. Then I'll put a comma and I'll put a false. Simple and very easy. Why a false? Because I want to get the exact. I don't want to get anything that resembles my search key. So I'll put equal sign. I'll put an enter, and then I'll drag this to the bottom. So you see how easy I'm able to get every person's, you know, results, all like details, just by simply using VLOOKUP. Now lastly, we want to get the address. How do I get the address? Because I know these people are actually within this data set, but I need to get the address. So how do I do that? So simply same thing. I don't know, you can even try it on your end. You can just pause the video, try, and we see how that plays out. So I'll simply put equal sign VLOOKUP. I will put my search key, comma, and where is the range? So I select a range that has both. It has my search key and then what I want to return, which for this case is the address. So I'll simply come to it here and then I'll highlight. Like we said, I can actually stop here, but let us highlight everything. So what do you want to return? The index. So the index that I put here for this case, since the address, so I want to return the address. The address is in column G, but what is the index of column G within my range? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is index 7 within my range, so it is 7, comma, and I'll put a false here. Why false? Because I want to get the exact. So I'll put that. Okay, so I'll drag this and boom, we are done with our task. So we can just look and sample by maybe Sandra King here. So Sandra King, we shall check their results. I'll check the result here. Where is Sandra King? So I'll just Control F, find, and then I'll paste. So you see Sandra is here. I'll just actually freeze this so we can scroll well and we see the topmost column. So Sandra, the task was for us to get the class. Sandra is in class A. Is it what we've gotten? Yes, class A. And then math results, 93. Is that what we have? Math, yes, 93. And then ICT 90, the formula got us 97. 97, yes, ICT, this person got a 97. And then the address, Golden Heights, yes, this person is going in the address of Golden Heights. Perfect. So this is how the VLOOKUP works. Maybe something important to mention here, you need to make sure that your search key, what you're searching for within your data set, it is in the first column. What does that mean? Let me show you an example. Let me show you an example here very fast. Let me show you an example here. So what do I mean by that? You need to, so this formula is going to fail if I move this and I move this column here. Check what has happened. So this is showing errors. Why? Because your search key, what you're trying to search for, which is Michael, it is not in column 1. It is in actually column 2. You understand? And what you want to return is in, like for example, here when we're returning the math results, you notice that we are searching for like Davis. Where is Davis? We are searching for we are searching for Davis. Where are you? We are searching for Michael Davis and we are returning math results. Now math results are to the left, yet how it should work, it should move heading to the right. So in other words, search for this person, whatever you want to return should be on your right hand side. You understand? For you to get proper results. So what does that mean? Your search key should be in column index 1. You understand? For the VLOOKUP to work. So let me put this back so that we, so this has moved just because of the range, but yeah, this is how it works. So tuning in, be sure to wait for another video about several other things. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, and share.